What if I told you that there's a royal family rule so obscure, yet so powerful that it allowed someone to keep a prestigious title for nearly 3 decades, despite one of the messiest divorces in royal history, multiple scandals, and even losing charitable patronages over correspondence with a convicted sex offender? Sarah Ferguson's ability to remain the Duchess of York after her tumultuous split from Prince Andrew reveals a fascinating legal loophole that most people don't know exists, and it's a story that exposes the intricate world of royal protocol, ancient laws, and modern scandals colliding in ways that would make any soap opera writer jealous. Sarah Ferguson, better known to the world as Fergie, has managed to retain her royal title as the Duchess of York for an astounding 29 years since her divorce from Prince Andrew in 1996. This might seem impossible given everything that has happened since their separation, from toe-sucking scandals to financial troubles, and most recently, the explosive revelation about her email correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein that has caused multiple charities to drop her as a patron. Yet there she stands, still officially styled as Sarah, Duchess of York, a testament to the power of centuries-old British legal traditions that even the most dramatic personal circumstances cannot easily override. The story begins in 1986 when Sarah Ferguson married Prince Andrew in what was hailed as a fairy tale wedding. The ceremony at Westminster Abbey was watched by 500 million people worldwide, and the media dubbed the excitement surrounding their union as Fergie fever. Sarah's bubbly personality and down-to-earth approach made her seem like a breath of fresh air compared to the more reserved members of the royal family. When she married Andrew, she automatically became Her Royal Highness the Duchess of York, gaining not just a title but a complete royal identity with all the privileges and responsibilities that came with it. But the fairy tale didn't last long. The pressures of royal life, intense media scrutiny, and Andrew's frequent absences due to his naval duties began to strain their marriage almost immediately. The final straw came in 1992 when the Daily Mirror published secretly taken photographs showing Sarah topless while an American financial manager kissed her toes. The scandal caused a media frenzy and widespread public ridicule that made her position within the royal family increasingly untenable. The couple separated that same year, with their divorce being finalized on May 30th, 1996. Here's where the story becomes legally fascinating. When Sarah and Andrew divorced, she didn't simply revert to being plain Sarah Ferguson. Instead, she was allowed to keep her ducal title through a principle that has governed British aristocracy for centuries. The rule is surprisingly straightforward. When a woman marries a peer of the realm, she gains a courtesy title that reflects her husband's status. Even after divorce, she can retain this title by placing her first name before it, which is exactly how Sarah became Sarah, Duchess of York, rather than simply losing all connection to her royal past. This same principle applied to Princess Diana, who became Diana, Princess of Wales, after her divorce from Prince Charles. The practice recognizes that these women had become integral parts of the aristocratic landscape during their marriages, had borne children with noble titles, and had often dedicated years of their lives to public service in their royal roles. The law viewed it as unnecessarily harsh to completely erase their connection to those titles, especially when they remained mothers to children who retained their own royal status. However, there was one crucial distinction that both Sarah and Diana had to accept. While they could keep their courtesy titles, they would lose something far more significant in royal terms: the style of Her Royal Highness, or HRH. This honorific is what truly distinguishes working members of the royal family from the broader aristocracy. Losing it means losing the automatic right to certain privileges, including the obligation of others to bow or curtsy to you, and effectively signals that you are no longer a full member of the royal family. The formal legal mechanism that codified this distinction came through letters patent issued by Queen Elizabeth II on August 21, 1996. These weren't just press releases or casual announcements, but formal legal documents that carry the force of law and can only be issued by the sovereign. The timing was no coincidence, as 1996 was the year that both the Duke of York and the then Prince of Wales finalized their divorces, creating an unprecedented constitutional crisis about how these former daughters-in-law should be treated. The letters patent declared with typical legal precision that a former wife, other than a widow until she shall remarry, of a son of a sovereign of these realms, of a son of a son of a sovereign, and of the eldest living son of the eldest son of the Prince of Wales shall not be entitled to hold and enjoy the style, title, or attribute of Royal Highness. This carefully crafted language covered all possible scenarios involving divorced royal wives, from the sons of the monarch down to great-grandchildren in the male line. The practical effect was immediate and symbolic. From that moment, Sarah was no longer HRH the Duchess of York, but became Sarah, Duchess of York. The distinction might seem subtle to outsiders, but within royal circles, it represented a fundamental shift in status and recognition. She retained her connection to her ducal title but lost the sacred HRH designation that marked her as a full member of the royal family. Perhaps most unusually, Sarah and Andrew have continued to live together at Royal Lodge in Windsor despite being divorced since 1996. This arrangement has led Sarah to famously declare that they are the happiest divorced couple in the world. Their continued cohabitation has fueled persistent rumors that they might remarry, though both have consistently maintained that they are simply devoted co-parents and best friends who happen to make ideal housemates. Friends of the couple describe them as a family unit that works together to support their daughters and maintain stability despite their unconventional arrangement. The question of whether Sarah could lose her title has become particularly relevant following the recent revelation of her 2011 email to Jeffrey Epstein. In the message, obtained by the Mail on Sunday, Ferguson called the convicted sex offender a steadfast, generous, and supreme friend and apologized for publicly disowning him after his conviction. These organizations cited the inappropriate nature of her correspondence with the convicted sex offender as making it impossible for her to continue in her patron roles. The backlash has been swift and unforgiving, with many questioning whether someone who maintained friendly contact with Epstein should retain any connection to charitable work involving children and vulnerable populations. The revelations have also renewed calls for King Charles to take action regarding Sarah's royal title.